Here we go. Give me a chance. Feel free to, weaken your king, make committal pawn moves, outrageous blunders. It's all part of the fun, yeah. No. 5 minute is not allowed. 3 minute, please. Okay, another fool. Okay, let's start with English opening. I'm going to choose my more robust opening mode repertoire, so I don't have to win desperately millions of games in a row to have the chance of a podium. So this is more robust, this repertoire. Yeah, it's more of the Botvinnik repertoire, I could call it. The Botvinnik / Petrosian repertoire. Yeah. This is the day I get to play like Botvinnik or Petrosian in the opening. I might even play the French defence with black, yeah. Or the Caracan. Nothing exciting, nothing too exciting. Okay. It also, of course, helps me win on time. If I play solidly and don't get smashed too quickly, I can always win on time against you guys. So anyway, that out of the way, yeah, okay. So f5, knight g5. Okay, knight g3, knight g5, knight g3. Oh, this is a nice pawn wedge. Knight f4, knight h4, queen h5. Some pressure on d5 here. So, let's challenge that. It's the better bishop, it's the worst bishop. If I can exchange off the better bishop without losing f5. Play queen g3, encourage this without losing f5. Okay, it looks like a nice position, but that doesn't mean I can't completely mess it up. There's still potential for this to go tits up, as they say. That's a very special acronym. In military, yeah, a very technical term. There's always a special possibility. Anyway, so especially when I'm playing. So queen f2, holding the pawn. Okay. Right. Now, can I just do king h1, g4, rook g1, g5, or not? I'm hoping this g file would be very, very good. Knight takes g5, f takes. Okay, rook g1, queen e3, knight f2. Okay, this bishop needs to be hemmed in for the rest of the game. It deserves to be hemmed in for the rest of the game. Knight f2, king g2, h4, rook h1. That sort of thing anyway. I think knight f2, rook h1, h4. I'm carefully preparing a strategic pawn break. This has two advantages. One, it does actually make the pawn break better. Two, it also increases my possibility of winning on time. So there's two advantages of building up this pawn break, and also the moves are all aligned to a central purpose. But what about this h5? Is this annoying to undermine my whole structure? Or do I bear with that? Oh, I don't know. Decisions. My king's on there as well. So hg, and then, I don't know, taking on h6 or h7. This looks good. I've gained significant amount of time preparing this. I'm still going to keep this guy blocked in. Not even this diagonal. Not even a whiff. Or do I give a whiff? Oh, maybe. Oh, maybe. Oh, I don't like opening up the c4 square either. If I open that, is that a lesser evil? Because queen b2, is that really a lesser evil? He would have a protected passed pawn. So I'm going to have to make a concession here, I'm afraid. I hate making concessions, but there's a concession of giving up the diagonal end c4 square. It's a concession. Oh, crikey. I'm going to have to live with it. I think it's a lesser evil concession. Yeah. The bishop hasn't got this diagonal still. It's blocked in by this guy. Now maybe it's time, HG, it's time to break this H file open. Crack this H file. I'm 94 though. I don't know, he could get, it is possible he could use this to get, get counterplay. Oh, crikey. Yes, it's already got dangerous. How quick did that? Hang on, I can take the queen. Yeah, I know he's trying to activate the bishop. I know. Okay. Thanks for the game. I got through the first game. Good. Okay, here we go. Gogip. So I'm thinking Petrosian Botvinnik for the openings. Let's invite French defense. Oh, God. Okay. Maybe this is a bit too much for me. Sometimes this can get exciting with a dark square strategy. Oh, he's opened up my bishop. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, if I clamp down on e4 as priority, I think I'm going to clamp down on e4. He's not really going to give me a dark square bishop without a counterpart, is he? Oh. Okay, that blocks as a minority attack in this structure, in theory. But downside of white's position, sometimes black can get a good attack in the meantime. This structural attack is good in general, but it looks as though my opponent's not really going for minority attack right now. In general, that would be an interesting plan, but there's other plans. This fianchetto here makes things different about this diagonal, maybe. Maybe if I try and swap off. Oh! Okay, I've got a standard knight h7 defense I like to play. This defense should tame, as far as I'm aware, this kind of thing. Knight h7, queen f6 to g7. It should tame this. It usually tames this. Please let it tame this. Queen f6. Queen f6. I'm hoping this attack can be tamed. Okay, I can take that without losing my queen, yeah? Can I take that without losing my queen? That's true. Okay, so pawns are fragmented. Now my king is a bit unsafe. I'll just get it out of the way. And then maybe... Oh, e5. Okay, things are getting nasty. Things are getting scary. Okay. Oh, hang on. No, I'm not calculating as much as I should have. I've just realised I could have lost the rook under a different circumstance. But bishop takes was holding the rook. But under a different circumstance, that could have won the rook. So, king g6, king f6, c5. I'm looking at bishop, this idea. If I point at the king g6, king f6, this reduces the burden, the administrative burden of this bishop. Okay, and then I can use the bishop on this diagonal, I would hope. And then that's going to be huge entertainment after bishop c6. Okay. Wait. Running into trouble. If it wasn't for bishop c6 mating, I'd be running into trouble. It looks to me nearly mating here. I don't know what he's doing now. I've got escape squares covered all around the shop. Okay, here we go. Now, this is still a bit scary, I suppose. What if I played this? Hang on, bishop f8, just to cover g7. Please don't get mated. King, please don't get mated. Please don't get mated. Okay. f4. I'm not getting mated yet, am I? So f4, hitting the rook. And then And now I can take that. I think I'm safely through this second game. After that, I don't think even I can mess this up now. It's hard to imagine, but it's possible. Anything's possible. But I think it's hard to imagine. Okay. Okay, about to mate. Thanks for the game, Gogip. Crip. Okay, so send the challenges, guys. 3 minute, yeah. Crip. Send the challenges. Okay, we're inviting a French defense again. So, I'll play classical French defense, inviting the closure of the center. And knight c6, queen b6. That's classic variation. Okay, actually I have played this piece sack quite a bit in the past in this line, with varying success. Knight a4, queen a5, c3, and then cd, b4, knight b4. This piece sack line, it used to be popular. I don't think it's that popular now. I don't want this hassle, actually, of taking the pawn, though. Can I just keep it calm without any f5? Because sometimes I have had games I've taken that pawn and there's f5 soon after. I just want to keep it sort of calm, less gambity sort of thing. Now knight a4 is going to be a pain. Can I play knight takes c5 and live to tell the tale? I hope so. No, there's still knight a4. Muppets. What am I thinking of? Well, I'm not losing a dark square bishop. That's one thing. Maybe there's queen b4 hitting. Oh, I'm asking for trouble, aren't I? I'm going to get this out of here. So I think I want to play b6, bishop b7, rook d8, knight e4, that kind of thing. Okay. Is this knight going to sacrifice itself or something? What's going on with this knight? Oh, no. No. The horror. The horror of it. I'm trying to be carved up. Bishop e6, though. I've got my knight protecting things. e6, crucially. Another one trying to hack me to death this morning. So brutal, Chas. So brutal. So can I defend this with rook d8 coming up? Can I defend with rook d8 coming up? Rook d8, bishop e7, castling. Okay, so bishop e7. Maybe. Oh, the knight's pinned to the rook. No, no, no. Let's not have a disaster. There's unprotected pieces around the shop here. They're waiting to fall off. Do I castle queenside? Do I run into b4? b5? Oh, it's happening. Okay, something's happening. Let's go back, maybe here, to shield. Oh, I don't know. But b5 is scary as well. That's all scary. Alright, I imagine b5 takes, bishop takes, rook c8. Alright, is king f7 possible here? Or am I going to get blasted? Maybe this is where... Oh, king f7. I don't like the look of f5. Oh, maybe it's a less evil decision. No, I could end up losing my queen to e6. I can see e6 happening. Oh, crikey. Okay, I'm just going to give up a6 and g6 simultaneously. I know, it's very exciting. It's very exciting now. But I thought this could mean more of my pieces get protected ASAP. The queen is protected by the king. The two rooks are protecting each other. The shield around my king should hold, as they say in Star Trek. The shield, defense shield is up for a little bit. Okay, so rook g8. Okay, can I get to g2? Queen d7, queen d5. Or is there another route? G2. Rook. Oh, both of those are roads, man. Those are roads to the king. Oh, okay. No, knight d4, queen a8. Oh, this is very, very scary. Very, very scary. No, I don't want to get into this. No. King b2. Don't want to get into this business. Maybe rook d5 or not. I don't know. d4 here. Take this guy off. I'll take this guy off because it's sort of poking into my light squares. Can I play rook a6? Oh, there's still a5 still being attacked here. Exchange off a pair of rooks. Okay, he's speeded up. Okay, he's sped up. Let's protect that. Getting a bit scary. Thanks, Crip. It was getting scary. Kalar. Okay. Petrosian or Botvinnik systems activated today. No need for a desperate rush to win a game. No need for my hack attacks. Openings. It's Botvinnik Petrosian style openings. So Caracan or French with black today. English with white. Okay, so are we inviting the classical variation again? Closing the center. This time I think I'm going to try and do this without losing a piece. If I can exchange off like Petrosian does that light square bishop. We have the cramp without the light square bishop being locked in, which is usually a good thing in this pawn structure to try and upgrade it slightly with this bishop not being a problem piece locked in the pawn structure. So queen b7, knight g3. Okay, let's keep solid on around there. Maybe queen b7, knight e7 to keep solid around. The f5 break is a long way away, unless white is using pieces. Where is the f5 break? When it becomes more about the pawns, that means I can play a lot of moves without getting completely demolished, hopefully. I can keep things closed over here and actually look forward to this one to open up this diagonal. Hang on, or this diagonal. The c4 diagonal. Hang on, the c4 diagonal. There's a b4 outpost. Is there a b4 outpost? b3 is a protected pass pawn. I can work on that later. Protected pass pawn. a5, rook b8. b3, a5. Okay. Oh, hang on. Am I doing something severely naughty here? It's possible. Okay, no, hang on. I can get blockade. And then that seals the e4 square. If knight e4, bishop e7, hitting h4 anyway. In fact, I'm going to hold this before I get dismantled. Okay, there is takes in e6, but maybe f6. f6. Trying to hold the squares together. Okay. Oh, hang on. This is getting a problem. Getting to be a problem. I can't castle. No. Definitely not. Okay, what did I do? I must have moved the king earlier. Okay, g takes. I don't remember what happened in the game, actually. It's going... my memory, okay, of this game, okay, is non-existent. But, okay, forget that for a moment. King over... No, rook g8. No, not casting over there. Oh, Muppets. Oh, this is bad news. I'm going to be hacked, aren't I? This is bad news. This looks like hack attack. Oh, no. No, I've got no escape from this. Have I? 96 might be a desperate plea for not being slaughtered immediately. That's maybe my last hope. Okay, B2 for rook B3. If I get rook B3 in, I might get a passed pawn. Is that the case or not? Not really. It's not that great, is it? This is where the 3-minute time control comes in. I would like to just win on time now, if possible. But well played, you know. I'd like to just win on time now, yeah. Okay, so rook d2 or something else. Knight f5 about to be mated. Okay, that's true. Maybe king g5, king f4. Oh no, I've just realized something else. That my bishop's hanging as well. I've got to avoid the top priority is not to be mated. The top priority is not being mated. Okay, yeah, I know. I'm terrible. Okay, well played, yeah. Okay. No, I don't know what happened there. That was Anyway, moving on, swiftly on. Yeah, so Pruffy. Okay, Pruffy. Oh, I've actually, by accident, chosen win as many times as possible repertoire here. Oh, well. Okay, this will have to do. Queen e1, queen h4, f5. Okay, so f5, b5 maybe, b5, okay. f5, bishop g5, queen h4. Bishop g5, queen h4. So this is a very aggressive opening. I have very good results of it recently. This Grand Prix attack style, this whole pattern, getting the queen there, the bishop there, the f file, the whole pattern seems to make a lot of attacking sense. It's a nice template attacking plan, I think, this one. Okay, in all seriousness, so it's a nice template attacking plan. If I double and then it looks like a lot of pressure. You know, rook h3, maybe. Alright, so here we go. FG. Maybe just this, actually, because the thing is I'm threatening queen h6 here. I mean, queen h8. There's no counter checks right now. Otherwise, I'll be in trouble, but there's no counter checks. Queen h8. Is threatened. Even on king f8, queen h8 holds. Thanks for the game, Pruffy. If you like that tactic, by the way, yeah, Kingscrusher TV / chess tactics. There's lots of tactics like that. Shameless plug. Yeah, Kingscrusher TV / chess tactics. If you spot any nice tactics, yeah, just remember, yeah, that course. Yeah, you can play tactics just as well as me after that course. Yeah, Kings. You know, okay. So. Okay, so knight f6, knight c6. No. B6, bishop B7. This is, oh blimey, we've gone into Michael Adams' opening repertoire in the Queen's Indian defence. I don't want to lose this bishop on B7. I wonder if Queen C8 early is a move. I should really have researched this more. This is a bit worrying because it's something I feel I should know a little bit more, because I'm sure I've gone over several games of Adams and others in this Queen's Indian. But why does it feel as though I'm going to lose my B7 bishop? Even now, why does it feel like that? A lack of theoretical knowledge? It feels as though, because I don't know the Queen's Indian, it's like I deserve to lose pieces or something. But if it's protected by the Queen, there's no immediate... Okay, there's no C4. Immediately, E5 is about to drop. Can I just try and get some defensive? There's no knight D6, right? Nothing's dropping right now. The dark square bishop without the counterpart, I can celebrate that. Soon I will celebrate that, I hope. Just by... Okay, there isn't D4 though. But this is pretty standard maneuver, surely. Knight E6. Okay, so maybe A5. Bishop C6, Queen B7. Is that a use of the Queen on C8? I wonder. It looks as though it's got some authority to it, this maneuver. As though it might have been played by someone decent before. This sort of maneuver. They're protecting each other against Knight A5. If Rook D8, Knight A5, it's still protected. But not on B5, Rook D8, Knight A5. So what about A4? It's protected by the bishop. If I do want to push this B5, but what am I doing? I'm not really sure that's constructive. Mind you, this is happening. I can prepare against Knight F5. I'll protect H6 as well, compensate for the downside of playing this King G7. But there's still Knight E3 to D5. Against that, don't know. He seems well prepared for that. Okay. Weakening some dark squares. Does it matter about D7 entry point? Can I do this? This? Does it matter? If I have... Okay, Knight E3 to D5. Just to be annoying here. Bishop G5. In fact, Bishop B5 here. I mean, Queen A6 is significant. B3, AB, Queen B3. Or, okay, just let B3 happen. There's a way of clearly winning a pawn, though, with Rook A3 after. But then there's Rook D7 entry point is ignited if I lose the bishop. Just to win a pawn, it seems that could be quite a cost. Can I not just take the knight? Yeah. I can kick this guy out. And this facilitates Queen B6. I could exchange off the queens here. I'll be boring. Exchange off the queens. Win an exchange. Playing for Bishop D5. Take this guy off. Okay, thanks for the game, Lapras. Alright, calculator, 1, 2, 3. Alright, Botvinnik style opening, English opening, especially against calculators. Try and keep it strategic in general, as far as possible. As in, more about the pawns, strategic. Hopefully more about the pawns. H3, knight G2. So Botvinnik system. King H2. So F4, F5. I'm gonna squish my way through this. Knight G3. Bishop E3. I'll take this guy out. I threaten to take that guy out on Bishop G5. Definitely not Queen D2 because you know he would have this and Knight C2 probably if he had that. It's possible that I'll try and dissuade Bishop G5 with an idea of F6. But Bishop G5 remains potent. Yeah, Bishop G5, Queen D2, takes Knight C2. Okay. Let's go back for a moment. Alright, I'll prepare for Bishop G5. I'll just play Rook AC1 here. Covering C2. Rook AC1. So he's got a strategic bishop exchange. He's achieved a strategic bishop exchange. Maybe it's not the end of the world. It might weaken in return. I was going to say some dark squares, but the queen's replacing. So at least try and get E4. This is a monster piece now. This D4. Okay. It's possible I'm being outplayed. Knight E4 is a threat though, right? Get that queen back to E7. Alright, well, let's have this position. Maybe there's B4 coming up with due preparation. Or B4 immediately. Was B4 immediately any good? Okay, I'm going to pretend as though I need Rook B1. I might need that knight. Yeah, I'd rather kick this guy and put the knight back. Because this knight's going to dominate this bishop. It could be a total misery endgame otherwise. If that knight dominates the bishop. Alright, that's a while for that to challenge that again. In the meantime, B4 is renewed as an idea. I think Botvinnik would be okay with this B4 plan. B4, preparing B4. It looks like respectability here, if nothing else. It's an error of respectability, I think, in the position. I haven't got a totally inferior minor piece alone by itself. Got one decent piece on E4 hitting the pawn chain. So I'm working with that key piece to try and blast through, maybe create a pass pawn. This doesn't look like a terrible game so far, as far as I can aware. I don't know about the exchange sack. Maybe Knight C5. Just two connected pass pawns. Although it's possible. Let's work with the two connected pass pawns. I think exchange sack here looks very logical. Let's go to Knight F6. Just calculate a little bit. There's Knight G4 after. Does it matter? I wouldn't have thought so. Alright, thanks to the game calculator. Okay, learning chess. Alright. I think there were a few key instructive points in that game to recap. The dark square strategic bishop exchange was in general good. I tried to avoid domination, just single minor piece only. I think the b4 plan was okay. Okay. So, yeah, h3, knight ge2. Let's repeat this Bobolic kind of template plan. The squishing on the king side does leave dark squares behind. So the strategic bishop exchange in the previous game was very, very warranted. So, okay, so here, bishop e3, queen d2, f4, f5. So I'm using that template plan. I think that in a way this plan seems to be a little bit more constructive than the London system plans quite often. Because there is a sort of squishing default plan at least. I'm not sure there's a squishing default plan in the London system a lot of the time. Alright, here actually you saw that if f4 there's knight g4, knight g4 and knight e3. So it's important to be tactically aware of this stuff. The knight g4 sack here I don't think is that devastating. So maybe it's possible to plough along with f4 soon, welcoming knight takes g4. I hope I can welcome that. So I'm wondering if f5, okay, is weakening these squares again. But that's the price of squishing to be paid. So knight f4, g5. There's a price to be paid. That's king h1 just to get out of the x-ray. d5 it could be useful. So knight f4, g5. By the way, I would familiarize yourself with the x-ray term. I'm not being funny, but even if you think about relative pins, yeah, an understanding of x-rays helps understanding relative pins. Because quite often the pinner of a relative pin is sort of x-rayed by the piece that the pinner is pinning against. So if I have a queen here and bishop there, this is actually x-raying that. And you can see, if you understand that more, then you understand how the relative pin can so easily backfire on the pinner, because you can think of it in terms of x-rays. I hope someone follows what I've just said. It makes sense. It's something I mentioned recently somewhere. Okay. So anyway, king g1. So x-raying, is a kind of form of tactical, liability. One of the things that x-raying is the potential waiting to be sort of awakened. So e takes, and then g6. Okay, here we have maybe f6 coming through. So x-ray is not just about X-Men. Yeah, it's worth checking out what an x-ray is, why it's important, how it creates tactical liability. Okay, so now what about bishop e4? Because I don't want to create this diagonal in a hurry. Bishop e4, just try to compensate for my committal pawn moves. Okay, king g2. Oh, there's rook h2. No, there isn't rook h2. This is coming in. Does it matter about that? Probably a little bit. Okay, so maybe here. King g2 on bishop d4. There is a vacuum of weaknesses. My opponent is actually tapping into a little bit. I'm going to hit this guy before the threat of queen h3. Oh, that helps my cause, I think. Okay, so rook h1. I'm hoping f5 and g5 are stable enough. Can I exchange off some stuff? So g6 for rook, h7 looks tempting. Looks tempting, is it? I think, yeah. Knight e7 is checkmate coming up, okay. Alright, this, I can play queen h3 here maybe. Okay, I'll take here. Yeah, play this check just to stop this x-raying this, if nothing else. I don't know if x-ray is the right word there actually. But anyway, check. Okay, let's fork here. Okay, so bishop h4, or coming in for the d6 pawn. Okay, I think even I might be able to convert this if I don't stalemate my opponent. Okay, thanks, learning chess. So, has no plan. Okay, a plan is better than no plan at all, or is it? That's a good question to discuss. Sometimes, if a plan creates committal weaknesses, maybe it was better to have no plan. Just wait for the opponent to have weaknesses instead. Actually, a plan doesn't have to be all that. I mean, a plan can be improving one's worst piece. It's free of controversy if you improve your worst piece. At least you're not committing any irreversible pawn moves usually. So it has got that going for it. I think anything with irreversible pawn moves is, you've got to be questioning it, the controversy of it. e5, okay, it was a threat. Knight h5 is extinguished. e5 is still a kind of positional threat for taking, and then f5. Taking then f5 would give me the e4 square. It would close in this bishop behind the pawn. But is that actually, how is that actually worth a pawn? Is it actually worth a pawn? When I say that, there's a context here of this Blitz game. It might make the game in this Blitz game easier to play, that pawn sack. It has a kind of comfort factor to it. It's shielding the bishop from my position, shielded from the bishop, for example. But is it worth it? I'm not sure it's worth it. f5 is even worse, perilous, I think. Knight e5. It gives rise to knight g4s. It's sort of, I'm going to go for what I'm talking about. I think it's controversial. I'm going to do this. I'm just going to say, in this context of a Blitz game, it might pay off. I'm not saying in a longer game, but I'm saying here it might pay off to do this. Sort of, it simultaneously kind of liberates my pieces and closes the opponent's. But this is best against a Benoni structure usually, where they've got fierce e-file counterplay and the e5 square in general. I'm abusing the same facility here. So saying this bishop's slightly shut in, got the e4 square coming up, and it's probably easier to play, probably. Or is it? We're going to find out. So takes, queen f3, knight ce4, bishop g5. Okay, things are getting interesting. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to take that off. I know this is generally bad to do, but the queen's covering some light squares in its absence. Okay, so here, bishop g5 coming up after the rook moves. Is that at least stops h4, or is there knight g4? Check. You see what I mean about relative pins? That's a relative pin, but it backfires potentially on g5 because the queen's actually technically x-raying g5. If I play bishop g5, you see. Queen's x-raying g5. But anyway, so a counter pawn sack. Alright, D takes. Oh, it's a horrible counterpawn take. All right, what about this one? I want to keep a piece on e4. Yeah, my opponent's activated pieces, activated things. But at this point, well, knight e5, doesn't that run into, so to speak, knight f6 and queen b7? I think it runs into that. Unless I'm getting mated, that should be okay. No, I don't like doing this, but I'm going to do it. I mean, I don't like doing it in terms of sometimes there's compensation, but I don't see compensation. Okay, I think that's not much. Thanks for the game. So we're going to play a bullet game here. Ragav. So knight h6, knight f7. Okay, it is a bullet game. To be expected, some blunders. Okay, let's not open up activity. It makes the position more difficult to play if you give the opponent more activity. Generally, let's not be mated on f7. Okay, let's take this queen off. Okay, here we go. Isn't this fun? Okay. Alright, thanks for the game, Ragav. You nearly mated me. On another day, it would have worked. I'm in Philippines. I'm in something's bind. Alright, anyway. So here we go. I shouldn't have played knight c3. That was already a mistake. Oh well. Have I got an inferior something? Stop this check. I got an inferior version of something. It's a sort of, what is this? Reverse something. Banco Gambit coming up. Reverse Banco Gambit. I'll do this. Knight e4, knight e... Oh, blimey. What's going on here? There's an immediate tactic of bishop h. Potentially, if I have e3, there's this immediate tactical idea. Let's check there. Now, knight f4 is interesting. Essentially, well, here, just to be able to play knight f4, bishop f4. Okay, that's attacking material. Let's go back to base, protect. Right, h file. Okay, double pawns don't bother me. I think they shouldn't bother me here. Bishop d2. Alright, if I take off and then queen h1 after, there's rook h8, bishop h6, g takes, rook h6, king g7, rook, queen h1, rook h8. It's no deal. Not yet. I think with preparation, it should be okay. There's bishop g3 coming up. Okay. Let's just hold that for a moment. And queen h2. Oh. Alright, what about g4 then? Rook h5. Oh, there's rook g4. I'm putting myself in a bad state, am I? King g1. Just unpin. Am I putting myself in a bad state? Is there queen? I have, haven't I? The rook holds f3. Maybe there's queen f1. I hope there's queen f1 for rook e1. And rook e4. I want to extinguish this activity. This activity is all danger. It's all X-raying stuff, and it's all danger. Activity equals X-rays. It's X-raying stuff. Like my king, you know, for rook g4. You see that? So I think, okay, queen g2. Rook e1, rook e4. Trying to extinguish this activity. Rook e1 to e4. Alright, it's going to be interesting now. As in scary. Okay, interesting. As in scary. Rook e4. Or is it better? Queen g3. Promises to undouble my pawns. It does blunt the queen as mentioned earlier. Okay, is queen g3 plausible? Right. Okay, I can undouble, I think. And push forward. Oh, there is f5 because of the pin, I hope. Oh, there is this because I'm on the rook. This looks good, just in general, looks good. Yeah, this looks very good. Alright, thanks to the game. I'm in. Can we have 3 minute, guys, to give me more of a chance swindling you? Yeah, 3 minute. Okay, so George Dev, another 3 minute game, yeah? So bishop g2 and e4. Okay, so bishop g2 and e4. Okay, I could slip in another exciting opening. Maybe this is too much. This bot winning system might be too much. Please tell me, are you bored? You don't want another bot. Are you bored with the bot winning system? Just one if you're bored, 10 not. And I don't need to play another bot winning system, right? If you're bored with this opening, I don't need to do it. I mean, I think you've got the general idea. If you want, I don't have to play the bot-for-neck system. Okay. So that vote I've just done on Twitch is, this night's trapped, isn't it? Is about the bot-for-neck system in particular. You know, C4 and then E4 later. Okay. So you're not bored by the bot-for-neck system? Okay. Well, that's good news. It's easier for me to play. You know. 5 minute possible if you're a long time sub. Well, maybe. Okay, there may be a special exemption as mentioned by Harry Shiva there. Okay, special exemption if you're a long time sub, 5 minute. Then I guess if you really want a 5 minute game. But you know, how am I going to swindle you if I get a bad position? Because usually I'm quicker than you guys. You know, so I'm putting myself at huge risk of losing street cred. Okay, no, but anyway, if you're a long time sub on Twitch, okay, yeah, 5 minute. Okay, so rook g6, queen h5, queen h5. Well, okay, why don't I just build the pressure on g6 without sacrificing anything? I can actually do that here, I believe. I think I could build the pressure on g6 without sacrifice. Queen G3 and F5. Queen G3 and F5. If G5... that'll just close up everything. G5. Queen H5 here. Oh, yeah. Just let's play Queen H5 here. There is actually a point here that I could play the spectacular Queen H6 if I prepare that first with this cunning little move to play Queen H6. And this surely is mating. And if you do find this tactic cute, yeah, and it works. Actually, let's just make sure it works. Does it actually work? Yeah, it does work. Please let it work. Yeah, there's a tactic. Cool. So anyway, thanks. Thanks, Sherman. Okay, here we go. That was better than allowing G5. I know the position was good anyway, but it was better than allowing G5, I suspect, which was the other proposal I was thinking about for what to do with the position. So we got a bullet game. Is he around? It should be around. Bullet game. Is he around? Okay, I'm going to give 5 seconds here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. The queue awaits. 3-minute. Osk 1. Okay, so G3, Bishop G2. Oh, this gives rise to D4 plan quite often because you're trying to blunt this bishop behind its pawn, trying to make these kind of hanging pawns fixed. I mean, they're not hanging pawns, but you're trying to, knock one of them out to make this blocked with its own bishop. So, okay, H3 coming up around about, or Bishop D5, or H3. Oh, decisions. I like the control of D5 here. Okay, exchange off one pair of knights, keeps the bishop locked into F5. There is the possibility of knight takes D5. Well, there was the possibility of Queen H5 and Knight G6 earlier. Not anymore. It's been extinguished. Is there Bishop G5 coming up here just to try and... Alright, there's Knight F... There's a loose piece thing. It's not a loose piece. Well, loose or unprotected piece. So they tend to drop off. Knight F6 and Bishop C6. They do tend to drop off. Bear that in mind. Because one of the key fundamental, for me, ideas behind having your pieces, in a status of protected by something else, is because we're just human. It's the frailty of being human that such an advice is going to be very useful for most people, even, grandmasters, because the calculation overheads of trying to make sure if pieces don't drop off, you might as well... It's often better to use, prophylaxis measures like making sure the pieces are protecting each other, so you don't have to, put too much strain on your tactical, calculations. But also your tactical calculations could be invested in some other aspect of the position, so you don't want to sort of all this pedantic pieces dropping off, sort of taking up your time calculating. So I think it's a great way, generally, it's often not optimal though to do, prophylactic measures like that. Like another one might be moving a pawn around a king, but that creates weaknesses. There are downsides to these to the prophylactic measures, but I think for me that they address the frailty of being human when you have a policy like that of having your pieces, protected at all times. There's a small cost though. There's a small cost to it. So, I mean, really, the ultimate advice is, it all depends on the position. But in general, accidents like that are less likely to occur if you just follow the simple thing, loose pieces tend to drop off, or is the quotation by John Nunn or something? I think he made that quotation. That stuck with me anyway. Loose pieces tend to drop off. So any form of creating a liability, you're basically saying, well, to your opponent to come and celebrate that liability, yeah? So that a prophylactic mindset is saying, well, I don't want to create those liabilities, which means then you've got more time to calculate like other stuff anyway. I mean, think about Petrosian. He hated losing, and he would. So that's why, master of prophylaxis. So he didn't let opponents usually, crunch him tactically, because it just wouldn't exist in the first place. But downside, he would draw more games, wouldn't he? Draw more games, but he's a difficult nut to crack. Okay, so here, Queen E7 coming up. But bear that in mind. These prophylactic general, principles, they avoid the overhead of having to calculate every turn, stuff. So they free you up. They free your capacity, in a way, for calculation up. It's Queen G6, Bishop F7. Okay, thanks, Osk. So, especially on the faster time controls, and you could even argue that certain pawn structures are more sort of prone to having your pieces protecting each other, shielded by more strategic openings like this bottling system. The probability of pieces not protecting each other probably reduces slightly in a more closed structure like this. So it's got that sort of cozy sort of feeling to it as well. I don't know if you've noticed. That I don't know if any of you have gone over Botvinnik games or Petrosian games. There's a cozy feeling. I think they've rid themselves a lot of the the liabilities, the tactical liabilities in advance. So okay. This is bad for me, this position. This is a bad position for me, actually. Oh, well. Yes, this is a bad position. I don't like this. But anyway, it is a 3-minute game. There's always a chance in a 3-minute game. But yeah, losing the darts queen bishop could be a pain. So knight f4 and... Okay, coming up, knight f4. And okay, d3 is under fire. Rook f2, rook d1, bishop e4, bishop d5, bishop c4. Pawn towards the center here might be justified. Okay, this looks as though my bishop is complementary with these dark square pawns. So I don't think I'm too badly off here. By the way, yeah, even if you're successful at solving puzzles, there's still a mental overhead during an actual game of making sure your pieces are not dropping off. So all of that prophylaxis stuff could actually enhance calculations for anything else in the position. So something to bear in mind. Is there rook takes g2? So I'm not saying you shouldn't really go out of your way to put pressure on your calculations generally, because they're going to be wrong a lot of the time if you're human, which I think most of us are human, right? So rook takes g2. Okay, so queen over here. Does g6. Okay, f5 or rook c2. This all seems a bit loose. I don't know if I want to play that. And he's going to fragment my pawn structure. Oh, okay. Okay, I don't like it, this position. Don't like this position. Nope, don't like it. Okay, I'm going to try and tighten e3. If it's not too late, king f2. If it's not too late, tighten e3. Okay, I got a spare piece. I'll try and undermine this structure. Yeah, a bit. Try and loosen that structure. So my king involved in defense here, sparing a rook free. 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 Okay. H5, rook H1. Is there rook F4 or rook D4 coming up? Something horrible seems to be coming up. But anyway, I'm going to try and get this protected by the rook as well before it's too late. I'm going to follow my own advice a bit. Try and protect this queen again. Because one protector might not be enough, especially when the king's involved. When the king's involved in protecting something, that's not ideal either. Okay. When the king's the only thing involved in protecting the queen, it's not ideal. Okay, I seem to be creeping a clock advantage up and away. Rook G5, Rook E5 would make my position, to me, cozier looking because I don't like this pressure on E3. There's also protected pass pawn emerging there. So if my opponent gets pass pawn there, okay, I don't want to have weaknesses though. Can I just blockade immediately? Or is that an overkill? I don't know. Oh, that's scary. Go away. Go away. Okay. Now we've established. Don't tell me I'm going to lose to an unprotected piece soon. Please no. Queen D4. Alright, there is a check, and I'll try and keep my pieces protected to follow my own advice. Oh, hang on. Queen takes. Probably does that. Oh. That's too scary, guys. Oh, that was too scary. No. I think I probably could have got mashed there. But there's probably something in there to mash me. I'm sure of it. It looked all too dodgy, that king walk. It looked very, very dodgy, as in very risky. Smiley itch to subscribe to tier 1. Thanks very much. Okay. Okay, 5 seconds. Oh, he's not around anyway. He's left to get. Okay, let's just. He's not around. 1, 2. Oh, he's around. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's around, but he's not moving. Oh, he is moving. Okay, we got a 3-minute game. Okay. Now, I haven't played the French defense. I'm asking for it. I have not played a French defense, but anyway. Being risk averse this morning on the openings, this is more of the risky style opening in so many respects, but it's a 3-minute game anyway. Okay. The double pawns, sometimes they don't really worry me too much. You get a lot of compensation from double pawns sometimes. Let's activate that rook. Let's control E5, G5, H4, on bishop H4. If I can get you guys to visualize this, by the way, bishop H4, it improves your visualization. It's got nothing to do with the game. It's just good training for improving your visualization. If I say moves and get you to visualize, I'm trying to train your visualization. I'm trying to do that myself for me, but I'm going to do that for you guys as well, yeah. I'm taking this bishop off now. I think it's very easy to forget something about chess, which is you're not just playing for the current game usually, you're playing for the future games, yeah? It's not as if our availability of future games is low, yeah? Therefore, if we can use current games as sort of training for future games, that's probably a good idea, yeah? So when you're a perfectionist and you lose on time, actually probably it doesn't matter, you know, because you probably trained yourself for future games. So those perfectionists thinking of not being perfectionists, you know, because they're thinking they're losing, it's probably a longer term, just a longer term, you know, investment, yeah, going on. Yeah. So knight e5. Oh, there's b4. There's queen e5. There's queen d4. So knight e5. There's b4. There's queen d4. Right. Yes. That was silly. Okay. Okay, and I've got nothing here, I guess. Yes. I blundered a whole rook there. Okay. Nevertheless, there's c5. This bishop's going to wreak havoc, surely. c5 and f5. f5 looks good. Everything's focusing on e4 here. The guys are all focusing on e4. f5 looks super strong. f5. I returned the favour of my opponent to give a piece from earlier. Hence, I'm not that badly off right now. So f5 looks good. Coordinating on e4. Okay. And now, don't know. This is a waiting move of sorts. It's possible I can play the exchange down. Yeah. Unless there's like a potential a pawn past a pawn. There could be. You can imagine a scenario with a past a pawn. I'll bring the king anyway. Oh, there's going to be a past a pawn. Okay. Just make sure. I'm not going to encourage it. Oh. No, I'm not sure. Okay. I don't feel too insecure about this position. The exchange down doesn't feel like an exchange down as bad as it could be, if you know what I mean. The positions with the exchange down. Doesn't feel like a bad exchange down at all. Let's get this pawn going. Right. I'm going to play for a win. Okay, thanks for the game, Azuka. Okay. Jefferson JB GB. So these exchange sacrifices are a really fascinating thing. I think it also links up with the idea of unprotected pieces in that we are limited as human beings. So when you think about an exchange sack, I mean, sometimes you're just thinking about the trends, the future trends of the position. It's almost like a statistical observation being made. So it's not even calculation. You're making a statistical observation quite often that like the harmony of your pieces is better than the opponent's in a given pawn structure. And quite often that harmony means the knight or bishop might be better than the rook. So it's almost like placing a bet, sometimes playing an exchange sacrifice. But quite often it is a really logical way to improve your position further, better than other ways, quite often I found. Yeah, I think some people just don't want to do it because they can't calculate it. So I think that's one of the... I think this idea that we're sort of limited as humans. So the exchange set, I think, is a great tool to use if you can on occasion. When you have some evidence at least that the future trend of the position is going your way, then I think the exchange sack is really cool. So have I got an attack here with knight h4 and rook g6? This seems to be a bit of a hack attack game. It's a bit of a hack attack. I like this kind of hack attack stuff quite often. So g takes. I'm on g2. Okay, g2 is on the fire big time. All right, queen g5. G4 and e3 under fire. All right, so knight g2 threatens knight e3. That looks interesting. Okay, this gives me f4 now as a square to use. That looks very dangerous if I have f4. Okay, so f4 means now actually bishop g4, queen f2 looks crushing here. Actually, as a side note, kings shouldn't be protecting things in general. That is almost as bad as an unprotected piece quite often, a king protecting something. Thanks for the game, Jefferson. Mehdi. So Mehdi. Okay. 1342. Oh, it's a Joker rating, as in Joker card, as in I don't really know if he's 1342. Oh dear, I could be in for it here. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay. There's one thing worse than playing someone with a question mark. When they have a symmetrical nickname with underscores at the end of them, or X's, XXX, or, then you know you're in trouble, big trouble. Yeah, you're even bigger trouble if they've got a question mark next to the ring as well as a symmetrical nickname. Yeah. You also know you're in big trouble if they've got capital letters. No, that's not funny. It's not funny. No, I'm just joking. No. I'm sure it's okay. Yeah. There's no need to panic on nicknames. It's only one indicator I use that you're in big trouble. One indicator. Okay, no, but here I think I'm doing all right so far. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I'm sure this is okay so far. Okay. Rook f2, rook a f1, e5. This looks devastating. I mean, this looks devastating. But am I going to be absolutely swindled? I don't know. It looks devastating for the moment. E takes as a form pawn. Surely the form pawn for the win here. Okay. Well, I'm honoured to be one of the first people Mehdi has played on the site. Clearly, okay. I'm going to tell you if a queen takes g5, checkmating. I think. Thanks, Mehdi. Welcome to the site. Okay. Umot. Oh, there's another question mark. No, and it's increment. No. Increment's definitely out of the picture, guys. Increment's definitely out of the picture. Osk1, call me chicken, but increment's out of the picture. Okay. Queen d2, I expect. Discourage castling, surely. No? Okay, I'm going to castle. F5, F4. Okay. I'm going to take this bishop off. Oh, this looks to be fork time. As in pawn fork. Okay, here we go. What's this? I'm taking this. Yummy. Okay. G5, knight G6. maybe. I'm concerned, mildly concerned, knight g5, queen h5, if that works. I don't think it works. I don't think it works, because bishop a6. Alright, so here we go. g4, f3, form pawn alert. Okay, so g4, f3, and then, you know, bishop e5, and then queen h4. This kind of thing looks very entertaining. Bishop e5, queen h4. Queen h4, bishop e5. Queen h4, bishop e5. Okay, here we go. Killer common square, h2 coming up. Knight takes f3, only a defensive try, I suppose, to defend for a moment. Okay. Okay. Thanks for the game, Osk. Okay, Gavriel. 3 minute. Let's see what he plays actually before playing knight c6. Okay. Let's play a Mexican defense. Oh, I like this. This is a tango transposition. Okay. I won't go for a pawn. Right, so standard hack attack invoked. G5. I love this sort of thing. I suppose it's sort of a safer form of fishing pole opening tactic. Trap. Fishing pole. Alright, let's try and avoid the bishop being killed totally. I'll take it here. It is only a 3-minute game. Okay, that's a bit of a liability playing bishop g6. g4, g3 coming up. Oh, h-file active. Okay, this looks nasty. All of this, all of this, all of this. It looks all nasty. Keep the bishop active. Okay, take this guy. I'll take on f2. I can win a whole rook. I think I should win a whole rook. Okay. There's f5 here. Oh, we'll take this first. I'll take that first. Okay, let's take that first. I could just calmly do this because he would be pinning my queen. I didn't want to lose a bishop unnecessarily. Why not celebrate? Yeah, but right, so okay. Oh, there's knight g4 anyway. For rook h2. That's queen c5 coming up. Okay. Alright, thanks for the game, Gavriel. Yeah, I kind of like that whole pattern of events. I've won so many games with that sort of refined fishing pole system. Okay, so here we go. Yes, why not take the center out when I can? There's a center pawn. If I can replace the center with my own center here safely when it's safe to do so. Aha. Aha. This knight. Okay. I'm happy with this position. Looks nice. Take this guy. Maybe. Yeah, I'm taking that guy. D5 and bishop c6. Or rook f2. Let's hold on to the pawns. Bishop c6 and rook f8. Okay, b5. a4, b5. Alright, so go for d6 here, I think, if allowed. Alright, it's allowed, all with interest. Well, it's kind of a bad discipline, you know, takebacks, because you got to visualize in your head, guys, for future training. I think I might have given a takeback last week, but it's not doing anyone any favors, because you've really got to visualize in advance of playing a move. So it's like your future training is compromised if I give takebacks. All right, thanks, Sam. Razin, forget increments. These are okay. Pieces Lang, it's a common issue. Sorry, guys, I've got an old graphics card. I think it's to do with that. I am looking to get a new graphics card. Of course, if you buy my tactics course at Kingscrusher TV, I'll get a state-of-the-art graphics card. It'll be so state-of-the-art. The graphics card I get, I'll even get a 3080 Ti to analyze games with Leela one day. Yeah, on a 30. So it'll be a double whammy. It'll be like Leela analysis plus streaming without lag. Can you imagine that day, that glorious day, if my PC can take it? So Bishop E3. Just messing around. Okay, F4, F5. Oh yeah, if you do my tactics course, you'll never have to offer takebacks again. That's a good one, Gilad. Yeah. Okay. No, but seriously, try and visualize everything in your head. Your mental chessboard. You should be able to play blindfold chess, guys, one day. Aspiration for playing blindfold chess without even a chessboard. As long as it doesn't drive you crazy, it'll be of benefit. Whatever doesn't drive you crazy is good for you, yeah? Or kill you. It's generally okay. Yeah, okay. So, Rook C1, I'm hitting C5. This is a bad position. I'm in a bad position, right? I've just realized I'm in a bad position here. Why have I got this backward pawn? This is a bad sign, having a backward pawn. Why have I got a backward pawn? What have I done to deserve this backward pawn? Trying to get rid of the backward pawn now. Trying to dissolve this liability. Yeah? I don't like my opponent's position. No. I don't like it. Why is he giving me a piece? Thank you. No! No, Timex, guys. Visualize in your head. You know, this is going to really benefit your chess. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. It's going to really benefit your chess and also my ego for winning this game as well. So it's benefiting your chess in the long run and my ego. What more could you ask for, yeah? So naive. Okay, if I win this game, you know, there's always a chance I mess things up, you know, guys. There's always a chance. Knight takes f5. Surely that's not, oh, there is a chance. Check, and I drop my queen. There is a chance I'm going to lose this horribly. See, I was about to drop my queen. Now, what stopped me from dropping my queen there was a quick calculation in my head. Even away from the screen, I was thinking, look, knight f5, bishop g1 check. Takes, queen drops off. Away from the screen. In the head, visualization, guys. Yeah? And, okay, I've cost myself clock time. But that snippet I just did there, for future games, that's a bit of training, yeah? That's a bit of visual training. So, okay, I risk losing the game more, but it's a bit of visual training. I just want to make that point. It's a very profound point, I think. Very profound. Okay, so, how do I wriggle out of this anyway? How do I wriggle out of this? I have to stop this being check, you know? I think I have to examine the root cause. Sometimes you just have to examine the root cause. You can't confront the problem head on sometimes. It needs to be some sort of root cause analysis because the symptoms are too complicated. But I think the root cause, my king was there being check. Okay? Now, here, is there knight e7 to c6? Do I need to do what I need to do? There's rook e5, exploiting the pin, hitting f5. Okay. So, I'm still in trouble. No kidding. I'm still in trouble. No kidding. See how difficult it is to win a one game at this time control? So again, no need to take back. So I can always mess it up later. Like I appear to be giving counterplay. Oh man. This is getting extremely worrisome. Okay. This bishop can actually, or not. Yeah, you see, I can mess up any position, a piece up. Let's go over here. So I think it's only the clock that's going to rescue me. I have a sneaky suspicion it's only the clock. Oh. Oh! I tried to... Oh, I've been out pre-moved. Well done. I've been out pre-moved. Congratulations. Oh, man. I was definitely trying to pre-move there. I should have thrown in a check. I think where I went wrong, I didn't throw in a check to cut out the opponent's pre-moves. That was brilliant. Okay. I didn't expect that. Damn it! I've been okay. I'll put that out there. Okay. Okay, so a6 and rook b8. Knight h5, h6. Okay, I'm going to take this guy out. Bishop b7, bishop a8. And I'd won the daily bullet yesterday. I'm supposed to be good at bullet chess. I won the daily bullet. I was pre-moving the pre-movers yesterday. Just yesterday, I was pre-moving pre-movers and winning the daily bullet. I'm not making this up. I won the daily bullet yesterday, and so that was kind of a shock. It just shows, you know what it shows. I need to update my graphics cards, guys. You see that? I need to upgrade the graphics card. I need to update my technology. I think I'm being overtaken by millennials with their graphics cards. I have this horrible suspicion. The millennials with their graphics cards, they're mining Bitcoin and beating me at bullet chess recently. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. I've got to put an end to it. I've got to update the machine. Okay, so is F6 any good for... Am I getting in a bad position here? I'm in a bad position here. I'm just trying to cover E5. I've got the bishop. The bishops are like killed in this position right now. My bishops are killed. What is going on here? Can I just... Why can't I take on B4? Just take on B4. By the way, a recent theory I've put into... I've got this other tactics course coming out soon. I've actually put an outrageous theory I'm going to share with you right now, here and now. I think sometimes, if you're a bad loser, yeah, and you're thinking about the game in your head after, and you can't sleep several nights, you know what? I think that's good post-mortem visualization training. Yeah. I think being a bad loser has a training upside. I have a theory about it. Let me know if you agree. 1 if you agree, 10 if you disagree. But if you're thinking about a loss you had, especially a very painful loss, I'm not talking about online as much, very painful loss over the board or whatever, and you can't sleep for several nights, yeah? And on that, by the way, as soon as I start checking with a computer, it helps me sleep. I don't lose too many nights' sleep. But if you're a bad loser, I think what my point is, I think it might actually be a form of blindfold post-mortem analysis. Yeah, if you do blindfold post-mortem analysis, I think that's good training in a way for your visualization. So that's another upside of losing, guys, which you may not have thought of. I'm saying it now. I don't think anyone's mentioned it before. So I've never heard of it before. It's just something I've dreamt up as something positive to take away from that. And if you don't have to go to work the next day, most of us are at home anyway, then there's never been a better time to be a sore loser, losing several nights' sleep over a chess game, because if you don't have to go to work the next day, you can be a zombie the next day, yeah, and just take your blindfold training and be positive about it, yeah. No, it's never been a better time for blindfold post-mortem analysis, yeah. What do you think about that? Is that something that's occurred to anyone? That's new, isn't it? I've just said that now. That's new. It's an original thought. I don't think anyone said that before. Yeah? But it's got to be... Ideally, it should be a really painful loss. I mean, when I say really painful, it should be a loss that, maybe you were swindled horribly or something. Maybe you spent loads of time and energy, right? And it was like a 7-hour session and you got swindled at the end. The more painful it is, the more post-mortem... Just think, the more painful it is, the more post-mortem analysis. Yeah? Just think about that. But it's a shame there's no over-the-board games. But what you... Yeah, unfortunately, it's a catch-22, isn't it? Unfortunately, to get such a game, you'd have to play over the board, but not many people are playing over the board. If we could only have over the board without having to go to work the next day, this would really work out well, what I'm saying. It would really work out well. Did I miss mate? Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Did I really miss mate? Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Oh, did I miss mate? Where did I miss mate? There's a claim from the chat that I miss mate. Where did I miss mate? Where? Please tell me. Please tell me. He took on D5. I'm made to feel bad in this chat about missing mate. Did I? Earlier. Oh, I'm not going back earlier. I'm going to try and win from here. Surely I can win from here. Okay. I was. It's the banter. Yeah, it's the banter. It takes. Processing. Okay. Thanks for the game, Melody. Okay. I think we'll finish up in about 10 minutes. Just to let you know, 1:30. Okay, here we go. So I was not paying attention. That's my excuse. I was not paying attention. It's good to focus on the board. In general, it's good to look at the board sometimes, as well as your mental chessboard. The mental chessboard, if nothing else. Look at the mental chessboard, if nothing else. Rook c1, b3, bishop b1. So this is the Maroczy-Bind torture. Yeah. H3 and f4. This is a 5-minute game, isn't it? Why have we got this 5-minute game? Oh dear, we've got this 5-minute game. Oh man, okay. Anyway. E5 is not so hot. Maybe f5 is interesting. And my opponent's solid. My opponent seems to be playing this very well, this structure at the moment. I can't see anything to do right now. Apart from lose pawns. Okay, I'm going to lose this pawn. It's knight h5. My pieces are hemmed in. This is hemmed in. There is a G file potential, but I don't know. It's a long way off. Okay. This bishop hasn't got that many great places to go. Oh, it's been fault. Excellent. Now I'm just losing, aren't I? Just losing this without too much controversy. Can I swindle that? Is the next question. Can I get a swindle here? I'll try and weaken this structure. That's not good. Knight g3, bishop e4. Is that a plan? Trying to get some sort of compensation going. Knight g3, bishop e4. Alright, knight g3 to h5. This feels like an eternity after those 3-minute games. I'll try and have a coffee now. I hope you guys have watched the IT crowd. It's a great recommendation. It's so funny. If you're in IT, especially. The IT crowd. Okay. Oh, here. Okay, this looks nasty. Oh, it looks nasty. Okay, I'll tuck that away. I don't want that pinned. I also recommend the Twilight Zone, the original series. Been watching that recently. That's really quite good. The Twilight Zone original series. Isn't F6 any good here? Because I'm sort of X-raying H7, and then there's I'm going to try this anyway. I'm going to try this. Maybe there's something going on. I don't know exactly. Oh, there's a form pawn on Queen E2. I'll tell you here. I want to do this and this, or that and that, that and that. Try and. Am I getting obliterated in the meantime? That's the question. Queen E2, Queen. Okay, let's calculate in the head. Queen E2, Queen F6. The form pawn wins there. Queen G7. Knight G3, Knight E4 is coming up. Bishop C5, Knight E4. Bishop G1, Knight F6. Okay. This is threatening Knight F... No. It's not threatening... it's not threatening Knight F6. Rook F6. Queen H7, there's King F8. But it is threatening maybe Knight D6. Unless there's some... Okay. If I play this for a moment... For King H2 if needed. Okay, okay. I'll play here. It's some sort of coordination move. There's Bishop D5. All right, there's King here. All right, I'll try and protect my glorious form pawn if I can. And take here. There's Bishop E6. All right, thanks for the game. I think there's only time for a bullet game now. There's a quarter. Oh, is there? I'll try and make time for one more game. Test 0. Oh dear, this is test 0. Is it the ultimate test at the end of the session when I'm knackered? Is test 0 going to be the ultimate test? Test 0 is pretty quick. He's pretty quick. A3, Bishop F4. Oh, he's solid as well. I don't like the look of this. Solid. Have I got anything? Anything at all from the opening? I wonder. There's the C5 square. I think if the knight lives for another day, there's going to be a knight C5. That could be annoying. With B4. This could be annoying to my opponent. B4. Juicy. Oh, there's knight D7 winning exchange, cashing out. Knight D7. There's a G file prospect. Rook f2, bishop f1, g file. Rook g2, bishop d3. Let's road to the king. Double the rooks. That's usually a good sign. Having double on g file. I'm going to try and double on this g file. Right, if I take and then f4, this avoids my centre being undermined in the event, in that event. Okay, so here, let's get this attack going somehow. Actually, this is unprotected. Let's keep that protected. Your advice. This is unprotected as well. Could improve this. Maybe rook g3. Oh, okay. b4's undermined. Rook g3 to h3. Is that doing anything? Am I actually doing anything? Why don't I've got another idea here. Oh, there's rook h7 for knight e6, isn't there? So weakness of the last move tactic, causing neglect of e6. All right, so it hasn't been taken. That's good news. That knight is doing tactical damage here in many variations. Behind the scenes variations, the knight is doing damage. Okay, I don't like the attack on h2. Let's get the queens off. Knight c3 taking b5 could be good, or not knight d6. Unless that happens, then knight d6 after. Okay, so bishop takes. Yeah. Bishop here. Oh, okay. I think this is winning anyway. Controlling escapes, guys. Alright, thanks for the game. Alright, thanks for coming, guys. Remember to check out my tactics course, yeah? So Kingscrusher TV/chess tactics. I might have another one coming out pretty soon, actually, a training one. So watch out on the YouTube Kingscrusher channel. So thanks for coming. Let's raid someone.